Hi witchlings, welcome back to my channel. It's me, your local chaotic witch aunt. And today we are doing a little witchy spooky season haul. I haven't done a haul in a really long time because I feel as though they're kind of like buying a bunch of stuff and being like, oh, you should go buy a bunch of stuff. Look at what I bought. But this haul is a little different because all of these people are small makers, friends. They're books with peers that just came out. So it's a little bit more about focusing some love back into the community and encouraging you to support witchy authors, artists, and small businesses this season for all of your different needs. I very recently posted a video kind of on Instagram of the same vibe, and I thought it was very interesting. Some of the responses to it, I think that people feel, I don't know, it's very odd. I think I thought we were all on the same page with like AI generated things being bad, and turns out we aren't. There was also some, levels of like, well, not all of this is AI generated, which is true. And also some level of like, well, you shouldn't look down on people for buying cheaper stuff, which wasn't the point of the video and isn't the point of this video. So let's just start there. You can get your witchy supplies from wherever you like. If you can only afford Target or Amazon or King Soopers, do that. That's where I get a large amount of my witchy supplies, from local botanicas, from King Soopers sometimes if I need a candle quickly, and a lot of my herbs are from my job where I get a discount, or from, the seasoning aisle. This page never has been and never will be about looking down on people for where they buy their materials. However, I do think as we kind of move further into authoritarian and fascist tendencies, when we're looking at giant corporations and the harm they're doing, not just to us, but to our neighbors, to our environment, to our economy. I think that being able to shop small wherever you can, even if it's once a year, even if it's not very frequently, even if it's when they have a sale, makes a huge difference. For me, I totally understand needing to buy materials from cheaper places. I've done that many times. I've gone to thrift stores to find candles. I've gone to the dollar store to find candles. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just gonna say it one more time. There's nothing wrong with that. This video isn't to make you feel bad about buying from places that have cheaper priced candles or herbs or anything. However, like I said, it is about encouraging you to figure out how to shop small where you can. Even if that's an online store 1,000 miles away once a year. Even if that's, okay, they're having a sale, I'm gonna get all my supplies for the next 6 months right now. A lot of small businesses work really hard to try and keep things affordable because we are human and we know what it's like to be struggling. But when you're constantly purchasing all of your materials from big box corporations, especially during the busiest season of the year, the season that a lot of small businesses, a lot of tarot readers, a lot of authors, literally this season and like the holiday season, make or break that small business for the next year. A lot of us are also running sales pretty frequently, but when you're actively kind of like, okay, it's the busy season, I want a tarot reading, and you're going to someone who's making AI generated tarot readings, or you're instead shopping at Spirit of Halloween, there are levels to that I completely understand, but I also think that utilizing sliding scale options, utilizing asking for discounts, utilizing the local botanicas who are much cheaper than a lot of the big box brands. And if you don't have a local botanica, there's a lot of botanicas online that will ship. That helps your local economy. It helps small businesses thrive. It helps people around you who you know, your peers, your friends, your educators, continue to make content and continue to make things for you. And so when I say, instead of shopping from AI-generated Etsy sellers or Spirit of Halloween, try to support small, this isn't about making you feel bad about doing that if that's what it is. I think I even said, don't shop outside your means. Don't shop outside your means. Don't break your bank shopping in a small business because I told you to. Do what's best for you and your finances. Heck, I've always been like, use what's accessible to you. Go outside, find a stick, go to the local grocery store, see if you can grab some herbs. Do what's best for you. But we can't ignore the importance of shopping from small businesses who aren't AI generated, who work really hard all year round, and this is the season that makes or breaks. So, with that in mind, all of the products that I will be talking to you today about are by fellow small businesses, content creators, authors that I believe deserve a little bit more support this season and make fantastic products. So, without further ado, this is your Witchy haul. I will say a lot of this was sent to me. There's like a few things in here that I actually bought, but most of it was like sent to me. So shout out the people who sent me things. Thank you. We're going to start off with books because there's so many. It's a big book season. 2025 is the big book season. So you'll notice mine is of course on the top. I have to self-promo. Ancestral Magic comes out November 11th. It is a book for folk traditions and reconnection to folk traditions. It talks about ancestral veneration. It talks about accountable reconnection. It talks about unsettling settler colonialism. It talks about all of these things that I think are integral to ancestral reconnection. This book has been 2 or 3 years in the making, and getting a physical copy of it actually made me cry. I've been working on this. I think it was written in 2022, edited throughout it was written in 2023, edited for most of it was written 2022 to 2023, edited for most of 2024, was supposed to launch in 2024, didn't. So this has been in process for a really long time. Some things that you can expect this book to talk about include history and homeland, the folk and finding community, and red flags in community, including in mentors and teachers, ancestors, ancestral practices, and plant allies. We're going to talk about all the different types of ancestors there are, tradition, including the importance of it, but also letting go of problematic traditions and how to put tradition into practice, as well as reconstruction, understanding ancestral belief through a modern lens, and understanding that we are not our ancestors. This is my baby. I am so incredibly proud of this book. I love it. We're actually going to be reading it for book club in like November, I think December now. So if you want to dive a little deeper with this, you can join my Patreon on the Ruta tier to join book club, and you'll get to ask me questions. Anything that comes up with this book, any feelings we'll be sitting with, as well as that I'm teaching a 2-part class November 8th and November 22nd. It's online and in person, Ancestral Magic. It's a companion to the book where we're going to be going through a lot of it and also kind of making more space for your personal experience or any help you may need in that reconnection process. And that is through Ritual Craft School. You can sign up down below. We only have one person signed up so far, so please sign up. It is online, so you can attend it from anywhere, and it's in the evening. So you should, no matter if you're working a 9 to 5, you should be able to make it. The second book, this author actually requested a early copy of Ancestral Magic so they could include it as a reference, and they did, and that made my whole week. This is Hickety Pickety, A Witch's Guide to Folklore by Keldon. This book is absolutely amazing. It's so well thought out. It talks about the lore of the people, folklore and witches, fieldwork, verbal folklore, material folklore, customary folklore. If you're practicing folk magic, you have to into some way understand folklore because it is something that affects it. And, Keldon made me some really cute really cute illustrations on the front cover. I was like floored. It's just really like, if we're talking about culture, if we're talking about folklore, if we're talking about folk magic, there needs to be an understanding to folklore. And Hickety Pickety is the book for that. Kelton is such a thoughtful author. It's really like, why does folklore matter? Especially in the time when we're looking at a lot of like in academic settings, I feel like a lot of folklore programs are getting erased and are not taking as much precedence or importance. But this is why folklore is important. Reading this book really allows you to understand why we need to pay attention to folklore, why we need to learn about folklore, and what it even is. Our next book is The Complete Folk Herbal by Rebecca Beyer. It is a comprehensive guide to Western folk herbalism designed to help you harness the natural medicine and healing powers of wild plants. Experienced forager and ethnobotanist Rebecca Beyer, who I love. I absolutely adore Rebecca Beyer's work. I've talked quite a lot about wild witchcraft and its introduction to foraging. This book is pretty amazing. The first kind of, I would say, 42, the first 50 pages are like an introduction to herbalism and some of the terms, including an herbal glossary, how to make particular things, a weight to volume ratio sheet for tinctures, on folk method, harvesting, ethical wild harvesting, and then the rest of the book is all of these different herbal monographs. There's everything in here from juniper to chickweed to milky oats, some of the more well-known plants of Western herbalism, plus some more that are a little less known, at least to me. And so this is absolutely going right next to my like herbalism recommendation books, because it's such a in-depth setup. Like, it's such an in-depth book. I can tell right away that we are going to really be able to get a lot of different recipes and different methods of how to use them. There's wildcrafting notes, traditional uses, the energetics, the physical appearance, as well as any caution notes that may be needed, and medicinal preparations. Some of my favorite guys are in here, including Monarda, aka bee balm, wild bergamot, horse mint, or wild oregano. Monarda is one of my biggest allies for celiac flares. I have started working with it thanks to Rowan and Sage, Sarah Corbett, and her Herbaria online school, and it's like a community learning space. But Monarda has literally it is a plant native to Turtle Island, and a lot of our medicinal information comes from indigenous communities. So getting able to see Monarda represented in this amazing, respectful way because of its role in indigenous medicine, because Rebecca Beyer has definitely done that again and again with her books, is amazing, because I just don't see it talked about enough, and it's one of my favorite plants. It talks about how to ethically harvest and ensure the plant's survival. It talks about, reading indigenous sources on it. For me, this plant that has helped me so much, seeing it represented in this light that honors the roots of the medicine and who talked about it first, is so important. This is, we're also reading The Complete Folk Herbal for book club next month. So if you want to read in community, our book club is accessible. We work really hard to ensure that everyone has a grasp and an understanding of the text, and so rephrasing is common, anything that person needs. We have a very diverse group of people who join book club in us with different all different things. And so definitely, if you're looking for a place to read witchy books in community, you can join our book club on the Rooted tier. This is our current book club book. We should still be reading it by the time it comes out, and this is The Altar Within, revised 2nd edition. I truly enjoyed the first Altar Within book. I remember talking about it quite a lot. We got to interview and sit down with Juliet Diaz for our next book, and I really enjoyed this one. It's definitely very thorough. There's a lot of writing prompts. There's a lot of ways to engage with this type of liberatory work within this book. It's a huge resource for anyone who's interested in this kind of devotional guide to liberation. I'm pretty sure that the first edition of The Altar Within actually made it into my recommended resources in Ancestral Magic. If not, this is a fantastic companion. Our last book is one that I've already read and I adore. I was asked for an endorsement for this book, and I absolutely love it. And that is Ensouling the Effigy, The Witch's Art of Inspirited Objects by Matthew Venus. Whoa, this book is, I said it in my endorsement, and I'll say it again, truly raising the bar for witchcraft books. It is raising the bar. It is an invaluable resource on learning about effigies and inspirited objects. It's just, if you want to learn about animism, if you want to learn about like all these different aspects of witchcraft, like the way Matthew thought about all of this, because it's so thorough. There's like Women Turned Witch, Spirit Made Witch, Nocturnal Flight, History of Witch on Origins, Identifiers, and the Witch Embodied, Ethics of Witchery, Witches' Spirits, like, and then there's also rituals in this as well. On the Otherworld, the nature and language of spirits, talking about different types of spirits, familiars, supernal and infernal, tricksters, plants, animals, and spirits, protectors. Then on conjuring, communication, and pacting with spirits, on inspirited objects, spirit vessels, and fetishes. Like, it's so much more than a book on just crafting effigies. It is a classic book on witchcraft, on animism, on spirit work. If you have any interest in any of those things, you absolutely have to buy this book. Now we're moving into decks. So these were sent to me by Artisan Tarot. I really like them. That is the Scion Tarot and the Scion Sigils. For me, the Scion Tarot really is this beautiful pastel-colored interpretation of the Rider-Waite. Some of my favorite cards are those that are, they're just really, really pretty. It stays in touch with this traditional Rider-Waite structure and art. It doesn't go too far, but it still kind of stays in that realm. This is by Luciana Peña. I really like working with this deck. It's very clear. For me, the only thing I would say is that it can be a little bit difficult to read. And that is because a lot of the cards have been shifted in their meaning. So some of the major arcana, you kind of cannot know what they're talking about. The Fortune is the Wheel of Fortune. But all of the, and this took me actually a really long time to figure out, all of the pages are now the Guardians. And some of the major arcana have been changed. Also, the Kings have now become like just a call to action, like a ritual. So it takes a really long time to learn. I'm still kind of struggling with it, even though I've been using it a lot. Some of them, like the Elevation, if you're familiar with the major arcana, you know this is the Empress. But so the Guardians are now pages. Some of them, like I said, the Wise One, definitely the Hermit, because the art is similar. Let me find a good example. But this one I think is the one that I struggled with the most. This is called The Dream. This is, I don't even remember what this one is off the top of my head. And so that's like a really good example of like why maybe it'd be a little bit more difficult. However, if you can spend the time and the dedication to learn about it, it is absolutely worth it. The art is beautiful. The Knights are now warriors, so keep that in mind as well. And there's a few ones that I'm still kind of they're having trouble sticking in my brain, so I can't quite use this for client readings yet, but for personal use, it is wonderful. It is made to be used in combination with the Scion Sigils deck. All of these sigils are made based off the major arcana. And they're sigils that actually can be worked with in your practice. And you can really sit down and learn about them. So some of them are like direction, bloom, triumph, empowerment, release, unity, wonder, reflection, protection, and all of them were kind of made using that major arcana picture and imagery with a keyword that represents them. I really like using these. I feel like it kind of adds something into how I'm reading the cards, and suddenly it's not just like, okay, this is your card, this is your reading, here's your practical advice. You actually get sigils that you can work with to bring those lessons and that advice into your day-to-day. The other ones I got sent by Venelestis are the Venelestis Botanical Oracles. There's 4 of them. There's the Venelestis Visionaria, the Venelestis Medicatrix, the Venelestis Caelestis, and then the Venelestis Fungorum. These are botanical oracles that, once again, if you know plants really, really well, you will probably benefit from them. I think my favorite has to be the botanical oracle. I know a lot of plants in here. Whoops. I've been using these to talk to plants and get information. So as you can see, it gives the Latin name and a picture of the plant. It's really good for learning more. You can see I actually wrote some of the names of the plants on the bottom just because I was really struggling to recognize them. It's got some pretty good plants, dill, it's got plantain, nasturtium, heather. It's like every plant you can think of. Also, there's a honeybee in here. I love it. And for this, it is really similar to me to like the personal oracle, where you're pulling a card and figuring out your own meanings or the associations with that particular card for you. Because for me, lemon has a completely different meaning than someone else. Same with fennel, same with echinacea, datura's in here, coffee, common bistort, a wasp. It's really well thought out and beautifully made. I love the art, I love working with it. And for me, even just kind of pulling a card to be like, hey, what plant is going to help me right now is super, super beneficial. And I would recommend using it. And that way you can also use it to learn more about your local plants. So I got this recently at a market, and this is the Mystic, it's a little dirty because I dripped wax, Mystic Moon candle by Persephone Candleworks. It's queer owned and women owned. It's absolutely delicious. I'm not a big scented candle person. Their scented products are really, really good. They have like their fall collection out now. Like it's delightful. And the scent, when you burn it, is not so overwhelming that it makes the entire area smell like it. It's more of a very subtle fragrance, which I enjoy. Plus they have a bunch of different really cool ones. This is, and on the back it says, mentally you're on a moonlit path in the woods with a lantern in hand. Crisp leaves and cedar surround you. Sweet cinnamon and apple, enchant and delight. Meeting these folks at a market was amazing. I absolutely love this candle, and I'm definitely going to be getting more products from them. I also got this Cerberus spritz, which is their like small batch, like I said, and they're local to Colorado. This is lavender, sage, lemon, linen, musk, and I'm like, okay, maybe the lavender's too overpowering. No, it's very linen-y, and so you can spray sheets with it, you can spritz your area with it. I also love the name. I'm a big Cerberus person. That musk and that linen and that kind of lemony is really the dominating there, so it just smells like clean sheets. And so I'm like, okay, so if my sheets are stinky, this is what I'm using. It's gorgeous, and I love to have it around. Now we're moving into another person who gave me a lot of their goodies at the local market, as well as in Salem. Dr. Finch, whoa, I almost fell. Dr. Finch Conjure products. I have so many things from Dr. Finch that I absolutely adore and I've been wearing every day, including these conjured perfumes. This is Essence of Bend Over. I have a Come to Me, and of course a Cleo May. And so these products are amazing. They're conjured cosmetics. I also have a few. I have like the nail polish, the Cleo May nail polish that's on my fingers right now. I've been using the Bewitching setting powder every day when I do my makeup. If you're looking for Bewitched fragrances, conjured perfumes, conjured cosmetics, look no further than Dr. Finch Conjure. I absolutely adore these perfumes. I wear them every day. They work really well. I usually go for very particular ones kind of on a day-to-day, but Cleo May really helps when I'm working and seeking more money. Like I said, there's Cleo May on my fingers, and these three are by far not the only ones that Dr. Finch makes, especially if you're hesitant about using particular formulas. There's a Psychic Vision, there's a Bewitching, there's a Come to Me, there's a Look Me Over, there's all of these different ones, and they should very soon be going to drfinchconjure.com. I absolutely adore them. Like I said, I put the Look Me Up or Look Me Over cream blush on. There's a Come to Me lip gloss, and the Bewitching setting powder, like the powders are, my makeup doesn't move. It just does not move. It works so well. I think I slept in my makeup and woke up and was like, oh, it's still on. That's how well these products work. And I can only start talking about how amazing it is to actually have these conjured cosmetics and these conjured perfumes. I go on and on and on. There's so many different varieties. There's Kananga water. There are all these things. If you are a root worker or if you're just a witch looking for a little bit more oomph in your day-to-day routine and your makeup routine, Dr. Finch Conjure is the place to be. So the last section of this area is oils. Oils, spelled oils, conjure oils, ritual oils, however you refer to them, all are made slightly differently. But for me, oils are an incredibly integral part of my practice. And of course, I'm going to highlight my own oils and some oils I would recommend for this time. But that doesn't mean that I can't highlight other makers' oils as well, especially makers that I love, that I think that I want to succeed, that may be in a different area or make different things. I don't make everything because I can't make everything because that isn't my practice. I don't do everything. So being able to make sure there's room for everyone at this table is really important to me. And I have a lot of makers that I love, that I recommend, that I think make really good products that work very well. Starting off, because it's ancestor season, I, of course, am recommending my ancestral veneration oils, oil of the matriarchs, and the newly released oil of the queer ancestors. This is going to be part of like a 4-part oil series. The other 2 are still being workshopped, and there are a lot of oils on the way, a lot of oils I made. My area of spelled oils typically is in the realm and inspired by Italian American folk magic, as is my entire shop. I like to stock other folk Catholics, Italian Americans, and their products. So if you're looking for candles or charm bundles or charm bags, you know I have it. I also have recently opened up my shop for wholesale. You can now buy our products through Fair, which is linked down below. Or if you're like, I don't want to do Fair, I want it to go straight to you, you can also email us. We currently work with around 4 other small businesses to wholesale our products, including Ritual Craft in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, Alchemy Ritual Goods in Denver, Colorado, which we're doing a market at Deva House on November 2nd. I think it's 12 to 7. Diceborg Magic in LA, and the Cauldron Black in Salem, Massachusetts. We are always looking to expand. We would love for you to carry our products. We would love for you to have a little slice of Italian American folk magic in your shop. So click the link down below to check out Fair. And if you don't want to buy oils, our sprays are also available. Our charm bundles, one of our very signature best-selling products, and our Contro il Malocchio charm bags, our protection against the evil eye, are also available. We're working on making new oils as we speak, but we did just launch 4 new oils, including Bocco al Lupo Crepi, Bocco al Lupo Lucky Oil, St. Joseph's Stability Oil, St. John's Blessing Oil, and Oil of the Queer Ancestors, as well as this Our Lady Entire of Knots Unbinding Oil has finally been restocked. She has been out of stock for like over a month because we had to make a new batch because something went wrong with the last one, which is totally okay. Things happen. And we also recently opened up our custom spelled oils again, which you can shop down below. But if you're not looking for Italian American oils, I'm not pretending that I know that I'm the best oil maker out there. I'm one of many. So here are a few other people that I have products of that I really enjoy if you're looking for spelled oils to make your spooky season great. Firstly, the Thread Witch. The Thread Witch very recently sent me a few of their products to try out. I have their gold oil. I have their gold oil and master key oil. You can actually see the master key label is already covered in oil because I've been using it so much. Thank you to the Thread Witch for sending me these. I really, really adore them. They also sent me a tobacco cologne and a Zen and Peace oil. And I have just found that these two I really vibe with. The gold oil especially, because I do a lot of work with like solar energies. This is a perfect thing for it. This stays in one of my money bowls. And then I have the master key oil that I put on every day. There's not much more I can say. Thank you for sending me these. They work. They're great. They come in these little like half-ounce guys, and I really enjoy working with them, sitting with their spirits and figuring out kind of how to use it. The gold oil I like to use quite a lot when I'm doing workings. Or when I'm actually working, like going to a job. It's very good for money drawing, for visibility, for all of those things. And the master key is a very traditional formula. There's a lot of different makers with master key oils. All of them are fantastic. This is the one I have and I like. I think there's also a few others. I know that Spiritus Arcanum also makes a master key oil, and I love Spiritus Arcanum. So you could get both as well. But yeah, master key is a very traditional formula, and I've been very much enjoying working with it. And then, of course, Phoenix Bramble. Very recently got the Bewitching oil. This is an oil I was borrowing from Austin in Salem. And I have now been using it quite a lot. I truly enjoy it. There are a lot of herbs in here that I vibe with. And I've had some really weird things happen depending on where I place this oil. If I place it on my hands versus kind of on either side of my face versus behind my ears or on my throat. It's a very fun oil to experiment with, and it does help draw in some clients and help with that general bewitching vibe. I also have a reversal oil from Phoenix Bramble. I wear this every day, literally every day. I love a good reversal oil, and this one is one of many that I've worked with. I really enjoy that. I also have some of Austin's washes, Phoenix Brambles washes that I throw into my clothes that work so well. I really enjoy the washes. I really enjoy the oils, and I've also gotten lodestones and other magical materia. I have some colognes. I use colognes quite a lot less than I use oils, so I haven't been using that as much, but similar to Dr. Finch, also a Cleopatra formula, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Another maker that I have to shout out, of course, as always, the Death Witch. My wonderful, amazing friend. Focus! Yeah, okay. The Death Witch. I think I have maybe 50 plus Death Witch oils for a variety of things. My favorites include Dark Moon, Success. What else? I work with the Pride one a lot. I work with the 2 Honor the Dead and Ancestors, both fantastic for this season. I work with so many oils from Loretta that I actually have lost track. I really, really enjoy her King Solomon oil. It helps me a lot in academia. And yeah, I would recommend her products just as much. Like, they're just so good. There's also scrubs. waters, Haru water. The magnetism water I use it like every day. It is so good. It smells delicious. And so the Death Witch, of course. And then finally, a few more. Kitchen Toad. Listen, Kitchen Toad is in Canada. So if you're a Canadian viewer, you should be buying from Kitchen Toad. If you're not buying from Kitchen Toad or you're in America, giving a little bit of extra support to Canadian makers right now is really important, especially because tariffs have hit really, really hard. There is a chance you'll pay tariffs. There is a chance you will have to pay a little extra, but if you have that extra money, I really recommend it. I have so many products from Kitchen Toad that I absolutely adore. The services are amazing. They do spell work for hire, and just in general, it's similar to the Death Witch, similar to Bane X Bramble, similar to everyone else. Kitchen Toad is a business I admire. I truly am in awe of them in so many ways. They have carved space for themselves in a way that I think is amazing, and they keep a lot of their prices affordable. I'm currently saving up for a very large Kitchen Toad order. I adore their products. I adore what they create. There are so many materials kind of around in my area that are from Kitchen Toad. Clarity oil. I have a Spica Buckeye that I got from them, the Spica oil. Their work with the stars and that astrological stuff, and especially I think they just launched their Venus and Taurus collection, the Garden of Earthly Delights. It's just, there's so much care and planning and thought put into their products, and you can feel it. I'm also a huge fan of their Expedite oil, as well as the Death Witch's Expedite oil. Yeah, I just adore their products. Another very notable mention, of course, is Spiritus Arcanum. I have their Mercury oil. This oil works so well. I fucking love it, okay? I have their Expedite oil as well. This one smells so good. I just have so many different Expedite oils from all these different makers, and I thoroughly adore all of them because I love Saint Expedite, okay? I just love him so much. Shout out Saint Expedite. He's been helping me a lot recently. And finally, this is a collaboration they did with Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab. This one is like the Witch collection. This is Benevento. Oh my gosh. I saw the Benevento perfume, okay? I saw the Benevento perfume, and then I bought the Benevento perfume, and I haven't been the same since, okay? I love Beepal and Spiritus Arcanum's collaboration. I love the oils from Spiritus Arcanum. I love the oils from the Thread Witch. I love the oils from the Death Witch. I love the oils from Bane X Bramble. I love the oils from Kitchen Toad. I love my oils. There are so many different makers in different areas that you can support that all kind of take very different approaches to the magic that they cultivate. And for me, that is what is important, is honoring all these different pathways to the same thing. So yeah, I think that's everything. I hope you enjoy this spooky season haul and recommendations, these witchy season haul and recommendations. I hope that if you have the means and you are able, that you choose to shop small this season. I will be doing a large amount of classes in preparation for Ancestral Magic coming out. I'll be making a video to help promote that book as well. And I'm doing a charm bag class at Alchemy Ritual Goods. I'm doing the Ancestral Magic class, virtual and in person, at Ritual Craft. As well as that, I'm doing a lot of readings and markets. So if you want to come visit me, I will be at Deva House on November 2nd at Alchemy Ritual Goods down in Denver. And if you aren't able to visit me, I have one more day open for Ancestral Connection readings on November 26th. Past that, I'll be taking a hiatus from virtual readings to focus on my in-person reading at Ritual Craft, which you can also book with me. I will be there on the 27th, October 27th. I will be hanging out there and reading in person and virtually. So yeah, grab a reading, get a service, support your favorite makers this season, and Siate Benedetti. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, turn the notification on, bell, whatever you kind of want to do. Yeah.